So let's talk about video games.
Okay.
Like, oh my gosh, it's about time we're talking about video games, right? A bunch of dudes sitting around a table. Do you remember when Pong came out?
Okay.
We had Pong. It was like, dunk, dunk, and then like, this is incredible.
Yeah. Never hear like I shoulda, the shoulda been. Don't shoot yourself, right?
Yeah, don't shit on yourself, boy.
I won. I beat everybody. Nobody knows, but they remember my name on the game.
Oh no, Twitch might tell you something.
Rob's on the game, y'all. Get ready.
I would never do that, the proverbial lie, right? People would never do that because they would lose followers. And they would lose connections.
You're talking to the big social media. I'm talking to the little guys. They was just scrolling through the thing. Now I see what Sean is doing. I see what Rob is doing. I dare not post anything else because I ain't doing none of that.
What's going on, family? My name is Sean. That is Rob. That is Tony. And we are the 2 to 1 podcast. And on today's episode, we will be talking about leveling up.
So let's talk about video games.
Okay.
And I know probably some people listening to this are like, oh my gosh, it's about time we're talking about video games, right? A bunch of dudes sitting around a table. Man, I ain't a gamer. But back in the day when we had, do you remember when Pong came out?
Back in the day when I was a kid?
No, back in the day when
not a kid anymore?
We had Pong.
Oh, okay.
We had Pong. It was like, dunk, dunk, and then like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Right? So not that. All right, we're talking about modern day video games. In most modern video games, when you die, you don't start at the beginning. You restart where? You restart at the last checkpoint that you earned. All right, so you're playing this game, checkpoint, 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 die. Life,
You regenerate,
right? Yeah. But life is really, it operates in the same way. Not like that. When you're dead, you're dead. It's
the Matrix.
But it is the Matrix. But when you're dead, you're dead, right? So, but we're talking about how life operates like that, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah.
I have a list of a couple things, and who knows, maybe Amari or Justin, who they run they're all the brains behind this. More Amari than Justin, but they'll probably put it in the screen somewhere. Most men start at the same default originally.
Yeah.
We react, we defend. What else do? We shut down.
Yeah.
We have to prove something, if you ever had to prove something, or we just check out. That seems to be our original default, and that's where we act from. It's not because we're broken so much as it is that's just all we've ever practiced.
Right.
So we practice it, whether we think it or not. We practice doing and operating those ways. That's our operating system. At some point, though, something shifts inside of us, and we begin to respond from a different position.
Yeah.
Because over time, we just handle some things differently. And then the shift happens. Maybe we didn't snap back. Somebody was like, wow, that's really great. You responded differently. Those times happen. We don't snap back at somebody. Maybe we decided to stay and have a conversation instead of just bouncing and just leaving and slamming the door on our way out. We paused instead of exploding and instead of just erupting all of a sudden. And maybe we owned something that we truly needed to own instead of deflecting it.
Yeah.
That is the level up. That's the checkpoint 2 in the video game, right? That's where I made it to checkpoint 2. So now we can start responding from that level instead of when we have a blow up, when we have a breakdown, instead of going all the way back from the very beginning of defending, isolating, and all that, we can actually start from checkpoint 2. And when we mess up, a lot of times we still think, it's over. I blew it. I'm done. I got to start over from the beginning. But that's not true. So how do we get it in our minds as men? How do we get it in our minds to resonate that, wow, I've made so much progress, not to justify why we snapped back or why we did what we did, but just to say I've made progress. I don't have to start all the way back at the beginning again. Bro, I'm at checkpoint 3 right now. And realize that I'm starting at that checkpoint. The goal is not to eliminate old reactions as much as realizing that they're still there. They're just not in charge anymore.
Yeah.
And our old reactions, because they're the default, they're the ones that are in charge. That's what we default to. That's just the way I was. Have you ever heard anybody say that? Well, that's just how I was raised. I was raised to act like that. I was raised to talk like that. And then that's the default, but there's still a level one.
Yeah.
So there needs to be this level up space. And over time, the recovery window from the snapback, from the popping off or the whatever breakdown it was, the reaction time should be a lot shorter because we've hit all these checkpoints. That's where we need to restart from. So over time, the recovery window is shorter. What used to take weeks may now only take days. What used to take days may now only take hours. And then sometimes hopefully we get to the place where it just takes a breath to recover, right? Yeah. So this episode is about loneliness, and I want to make this point clear, so I'm going to read it. A lot of men hit it right after they level up. They hit loneliness right after leveling up. The old ways stop working. The new ones are not automatic yet. And they think something's wrong. When in fact, nothing is wrong. It's just the new training ground. So what I want us to just roundtable is the practice involved to make the new beginning. The new level, not the new beginning, the new level, the new default. So how do we practice this new training ground to make the new level the new default? So go to you guys and we'll just wrap up. How do we do that?
I think first is realizing you have to realize where you are first, right? So we have to know what our defaults are, right? So my default at this current level that I'm at, right? So I'm really good at A, B, and C, but then as you said, Rob, when I get to level 2, I'm good at A, B, and C, but I have to adapt to maybe D, E, F. Right. Yeah. So I'm adding to my repertoire, which can feel overwhelming sometimes. Right. Because it's something new. Men, I feel like, are natural conquerors. That's kind of, I guess, how we're designed to be. And once it might not feel as comfortable as you say, right? To the challenge of something new. So some people are stuck with, well, I must not be ready, or I must not have been called to this next level. Right. So because these old tricks aren't working. And then, I mean, for us guys who've been married, for some time, right. We know, what you did to get the chick, right. To get your wife, right.
Chick,
wife, it's different in year 1, 2, 3, 7. Right. So you have to change up, your repertoire. You got to change up your tool belt, get some new tools. Right. Because that I'm not gonna go there, but what you did in year 1 is not gonna work in year 3 or 7.
I was just thinking that this would be a good time to insert Pony. That would have been. Was that what you were thinking about? That song Pony, with from Magic Mike. I thought that's what you were saying. The tool belt. And
no, I wasn't gonna go there.
You can cut that out.
Yeah.
Right, sorry.
Make a note on that.
Make a note. Cut that out.
Cut that out.
But that's what I thought. That's where you were going, like the tool belt, the construction.
No, I was saying what
you're clean. I'm sorry, I drifted.
Well, I was gonna say with the same moves that you was doing, during your honeymoon, that might not work down year 3, 7. You gotta add to it.
Spice it up.
Yeah.
We talking about loneliness, bro.
Yes, we are. You can cut that out, Justin.
So you can't go certain places because men's mind will deflect and go right there easily, because that's the easiest thing to think about, other than their mental state and being lonely. So
We cutting
Come
all.
back.
No, we cutting all.
Come
that.
back.
Yeah, we're cutting all that out, Justin. At
Maybe.
minute whatever we're at, right? It's 2:57.
No, it'll be fine. It's just that you gotta let them know. Come back.
Well, yeah, they're cutting all that out.
Yeah. So we have to adapt to our new surroundings, our new settings, and then too, think about this. I think about, hey, I've outgrown this room. Let's use that as an example. I've outgrown this room. There's no more space for me in this room, so I need to get out of this room and move to a bigger room. But then when we get into the bigger room, we realize the stuff that we had in the first room, the room is bigger, but our space is smaller. So some people might want to say that I have to occupy more space. This room is bigger than what I thought. And it could feel, just the word that I am coming up with this is overwhelming.
Yeah. But I like everything Rob said, but it seems like that dialogue, leveling up, this is for gamers. This is for people who play the game consistently, so they get better. Most men don't play this lonely game consistently. They're lonely consistency, but they don't put tools in to get better at it. They isolate. They tend to think this is just who I am, and they have not been taught to share and open up and say, "Hey, I'm feeling a certain kind of way," because that, what you read, is the manhood version of loneliness. Each time I go to a certain place, I level up. But that is us. We do that. But the average cat don't do that. He plays the game, but not like that.
What do you mean?
Meaning, he doesn't recognize this is a new level. I got to get new tools.
So let me.
Is that? Go ahead.
So from a video game, so video game, right?
Right.
I'm playing Call of Duty.
Yes.
Okay. I'm playing Call of Duty online.
Yes.
I can't get past this one level here. I keep on getting, because them guys out there and when you play online, they've been playing way longer than you are. So it takes time to adjust. I remember just playing that game, sticking on that subject,
Okay.
right? I can't do this. Every time I respond, I get shot, and I'm done. I'm done. And it's frustrating because I thought I had the skills. I just beat the game, right? The campaign mode. I beat it on easy. I beat it on intermediate, and I beat it on hard, right? And so then I get into this world to where I feel like I'm prepared for it, but then it's hard. I quit.
Let me ask you a question. So I'm not a gamer, but just me looking at the game. So you're playing with a gaming community, right?
Correct.
Are any of those guys reaching out saying, "How we're gonna show you how to level up"?
No, but you might get into a room, a team. It's been so many years since I've played online Call of Duty, but you get into a team and they say there are communities like this, right? They're connect group or whatever, right? All right, hey, this is the plan. We're gonna practice, and hey, go there, you go hide here, and we're gonna infiltrate. They actually have game plans.
So when they reach out to you in the community, it helps you play better.
Correct.
That's a key. Y'all.
And then even when they're, I see where you're going. Even when they're trapped, right? The teams on their comms will be like, "Hey, I'm on my way. Where are you at?" "Oh, I'm in this room," or "I'm over here. Hey, come and get me." And so then, or they send resources.
Then you said the team.
Yes, the team.
So now we're not alone.
Correct.
Okay. So is the guy who's running the game alone winning?
No, he's not. And usually the guy that's just running along, usually the people that he's running against, they do have a team.
Or he's just a superstar. He likes to run alone. But then again, at the end of the day, who gets the gratification of that? Himself. I won. I beat everybody. Nobody knows. But they remember my name on the game.
Oh, no. Twitch might tell you something.
Rob's on the game, y'all. Get ready.
All right, so back to something you said. You were talking about we need to be looking for these new tools. I think most men don't even know they're in the process of, they don't realize how close they are to the next level. Now the game, at least in the game, I beat this checkpoint. So like in the game of life, you don't know when the next checkpoint is.
Yep.
And sometimes if you've been operating on level whatever for so long, you don't even know there's a checkpoint.
Yeah.
And then you have been operating under that's just how I am. Can't you just see me for who I am? And then there's never a thought to even look for a new tool. But we all need tools. I remember when I first started my working career and I got a job as a gopher on this construction crew.
Go for this. Go for that.
Go for that. Just go. And man, I wanted to be the boss. I'm just not the best employee. And so I got me a tool belt. Man, stiff leather too, boy. But all these construction guys they were broken in and easy. And I was like cutting my fingers trying to get the nails out that I would never use because they didn't let me do nothing. Yeah. But I had this tool belt ready to go, but no tools. Yeah. And I think sometimes we operate life stuck in I want the finished product, not the process. So I'm not looking for no new tools. I just want to wake up and see that tool belt broken in and fill with tools that I'm going to need for today.
Yeah, but you said something. You say a guy doesn't know they need tools. Well, if you're starting to say, this is just who I am, that's an indication of you being challenged or tested to grow. That right there, you constantly have to say that a lot to everybody. This is just who I am. That means you're being challenged to grow. You don't want to, of course, but you're being challenged to grow. At that, just who I am, unless it's uniquely you, which is most of the time not the case.
So I would say that every time I said, that's just how I am, I never once thought, oh, this is an opportunity this is a growth moment for me.
That's why we're on this podcast.
Right, and that's why
we're giving you tools to look at and say, hey, you need to grow right here. You're being tested and don't even recognize it.
But why do you think, other than me just... I won't say that. Other than, why do you think I didn't look at it as an opportunity for growth? And I just always said, look, man, that's just how my family was. You know some of my family. Yeah. You know, you've heard it from them. That's just how we were. That's just how things were done. And so we just keep doing it.
But it's a learned behavior, though.
There you go.
And it's a default. This is just who we are. No, we ain't just hillbillies. No, we're more than that, right? But you learn these behaviors and think this is the way it's supposed to be done. But in the global sense of things, you realize there's a different way to do some stuff.
So before Sean says what he says, I just want to make sure we capture this because I didn't write anything down like Sean and you do. So this somehow ties back to identity. Yeah, loneliness will somehow tie back to identity, right? Okay, what were you gonna say?
At what point do you? I'm just curious. I mean, y'all know me, right? At what point does a person, if this is how I am, right? So, at what point in a person's life does a person say, you know, I want something different for my life? I feel like that's not everybody. That's not everybody. I mean, even those people that go to college or whatever, right? People go to college, but the majority, speaking of men, right? I just gotta do what I gotta do. And so when we get to, I gotta do what I gotta do. I have a family, right? I have a girl, I have a wife, or whatever. You know? So I don't have time to think about me. Though men can be very selfish, but those people that are integrous, right? I just gotta take care of my family. I gotta do what I gotta do, and that's it. So at what point does a person realize? I feel like some people just kind of wake up and it's like, man, I've been doing this for X amount of years. And well, you know, this is like you said, you know, this is all I know. This is just who we are. What is it in a person that a person? How can a person identify with? Hey, I'm content, but hey, there's more to life.
I will say probably it's not as much through information as it is through consequence.
And that's what I'm thinking. I think
It's
when
like, I got in trouble.
When what you're doing is not
Now I got-
working and she still wants to leave you.
Yes.
When what you're doing on the job is not working because they still say you're a problem because you're not listening, you're not being adaptive.
You fired again.
So
again.
It's showing up in other areas.
Right.
And then hitting the wall, the last straw, what do I need to do? Then you realize you got some tools that you need to
Which is interesting because that's also the moment that it would be easy to isolate and slide into loneliness.
Yeah.
And that's on one end of the spectrum. We'll talk about it later, but that's from we'll say the struggling end or whatever, right? To kind of the base level. But then there's the other side to where you are the successful one. You've read the books, you've done the John Maxwell, you've done all the stuff, right? And you're the leader's leader, right? So people, you're responsible for people. And your circle is very tight. If you have a circle, right? Because that which you share with people, it could, I guess, mess up what you got going on, or they're just not ready for that. It could disrupt the image that you have.
Becoming vulnerable allows people to recognize you ain't got it all together.
Yeah.
But it also let people know I'm just a human. I'm just like anybody else. I just have found some ways to be successful, but I'm still at the end of the day, which we always want to be like that anyway. You want to be to the place where I'm just like the rest of you guys. I'm no better, no worse. I need the same help. But most men don't do that. They hide, they disguise, they, protect, they shield. They act out in other ways with the strip clubs and so there's other ways they do it so they don't have to be that way. So anyway.
Well, you say vulnerability, and I would almost say that probably a lot of men have a hard time even understanding what vulnerability is. So let's not even go that far down the line. Let's go back to that's just all I've ever known.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Let's start there. Yeah.
That's how I was raised. When you're in a conversation with your spouse, your parent, your parents, or just you throw it back in their face, or friends, or your circle. Let's say you've got a circle and there are a couple of friends. I mean, we got a big demographic that we talk to. So whatever your story is, or your situation, if you ever use that as in the conversation, that's just who I am. Is that promoting more conversation, or is that a conversation ender?
This is
conversation.
You're just closing that conversation down, right?
Right.
Why?
I would say you're not willing to grow. You don't want to know
vulnerability.
He's vulnerable. He's frustrated. But then
I don't know how to be vulnerable.
But if it's a learned behavior, he doesn't know how to be vulnerable because he's never seen it before. He's seen his daddy do it. He's seen his uncles do it. Everybody shuts the conversation down when it comes time for them to share. Or the other thing is, whomever they're sharing with takes advantage of the conversation and uses it later as a tool or firepower to get whatever they're trying to get.
We call that weaponization.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was manipulation.
Well, it's also weaponizing the info I know about you against you.
Yeah.
So you have that, you're to that, well, that's all I ever know. It ends the conversation, and it just really says that I don't want to grow. It freezes growth, right? Because maybe I will tell you, for the most part of my adult life, I thought that this is just how I was raised. I didn't use it as an excuse.
And that's why you're here. But anyway.
Right. But I don't think I'm alone. I think that's the majority of men.
You're exactly right.
Is learned behavior.
You're exactly right. That is, percentage-wise, that's at least 50 to 60% of the men globally think that away. They don't even know how to share. They just think what they got going on is what they got going on.
Watch your tapping, man.
It's called a nervous twitch. So when I get excited, I got to put my energy somewhere else. But anyway, go ahead.
So responding with that's how I am, that's who I am, that's what I'm up to, that's blah, blah, blah. It closes conversation. It freezes growth. But what else does it do? if we're really just staying in that lane, what does it do to the other person? What does it do to the other people? In that conversation, in that circle, what does it do to them?
It's hurtful. It shuts them down.
Depending on what they're saying, but I mean, it's just kind of like
They start to detach, right? They start to doing, okay, this is Cat. He doesn't want to learn anything. He doesn't want to. He don't want to be open to me. He doesn't want to, And then with women, if you're not open to them, they tend to think you don't love them because you're not willing to share, and they need that conversation, right?
So I hear that. That's what it does. That's how it impacts the other person. The person doing it, the dude saying that's just.
Yeah.
They've adapted to that way of thinking and justifying.
Yeah.
And that way of self-protecting.
Yeah.
Because they're self-protecting against probably vulnerability.
Yeah.
They're protecting against opening up and truly being known.
Yeah.
Without realizing that they're drifting towards loneliness, or they're drifting towards a choice to get better tool set, put another tool in the tool belt and level up, or just continue to stay in the vein of it's your issue. I have all these failed relationships. I don't have any real friends. I don't have anybody I can count on, and nobody knows me. And what's wrong with the world?
I think just thinking about some of the fellas that came through here, because I want to put myself in that person's shoes. It's been a long time since I've felt that way, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, man, how would that person think, right? That person will think basically what you just said. Well, this is just who I am. I've tried this, that, and like this is just who I am. That's their resolve. But internally, that's their default, right? But internally, the thoughts that we don't hear are, man, I wish I could do something different. It's the coulda. You never hear like I shoulda, the shoulda been. Don't should yourself, right?
Yeah, don't shit on yourself, boy.
If I should have just, or if I could have just, right? Then those are the internal thoughts.
Those are there whether we as men say them or not.
Correct.
Because that's the vulnerability. That's the part to where we are truly honest, and that's how we should show up.
Yes.
But we don't, because self-protection, but it happens when we're alone. Man.
And
Then
that's when you're alone. Okay, well, I'm alone. I've done all this stuff, but then that's where the loneliness starts to really to fester, right? It starts to grow to like, man, I'm providing. I'm doing the best that I can. My wife is always nagging at me because she says I'm not emotionally available or I'm not vulnerable to her or whatever, right? But if she would only understand, like, I'm doing the best that I can, then that is where that's where it starts. You know what I mean? And so like at home, that person is just lonely inside, and he's just not gonna share that with anybody else. And so slowly over time, he's really dying inside, from the inside out.
I agree.
Tony brought a statistic forward that I want to share as if I found it. And since the internet machine and social media and all of that have come onto the scene, and now we're connected. And I think our audio engineer, director, head audio,
shout out to Amari
also said the wider the more open the world gets to us as far as access to technology and news and info. And you would think that with all this info, right, that we are just so much more connected and all of that. From 1991 to 2021, in the United States alone, research shows that 33% of the American population said that they had 10 or more friends, like close friends, good friends, not like tight, but 10 or more. In 2021, it's 13%.
What?
Yeah, it's dropped from 33% to 13%. So is it just that now everybody's honest? No, it's just that circle shrinks. And there's a way the circle shrinks. and we could talk about that a little bit, but this ain't it. This is loneliness.
That's amazing that the more access we gain to the rest of the world, the lonelier we become.
The lonelier we become, the more closed in we become.
Wow.
Well, that's just because I only have real friends now. All right, really?
I don't think it's that. I think that could be one of the reasons, but I think even more so, the bigger we get, the more exposed we are.
Ooh.
Yeah, but on social media, you're not exposed. You're only exposed because everybody has a perfect world. So
if I don't look like you on social media, I have to close myself down and not be transparent because I don't look like.
But I would never do that. The proverbial lie, right? People would never do that because they would lose. They would lose followers, and they would lose connections.
You're talking to the big social media. I'm talking to the little guys. They were just scrolling through the thing. Now I see what Sean is doing. I see what Rob is doing. I dare not post anything else because I ain't doing none of that.
Man,
what am I missing? Who am I? I don't even. I'm inadequate now.
I don't have anything to offer.
Yeah,
so my life is boring. You know, I just work a steady job. You know,
but what happens is that person ends up posting the things that show that everything's fine.
Do it for the gram.
They do it for the gram. And we end up having all these friends, but yet 13% say they have 10. But you have 1,200, you have 8,000, you have 100,000 followers.
And that's what they are. Followers.
They're not even followers. They just said follow. They may never see
like
your
what you
post
said that day.
one moment. And it was worthy of a click, which shout out to everybody watching today. We would like you to hit subscribe and like our channel. Okay, so it was a shameless post. We had to do that.
Definitely.
We want you to follow and like and interact with us. But for the man, for the person watching, and there's been several men who have asked me, "Hey, is this cool for my wife to watch?" I'm like, she probably wants to watch and see what you're about.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out, give it, let your wives, and then y'all talk about it.
Yeah.
The man.
That's funny.
What?
Y'all talk about it.
Yeah. Well, that's communication. Most people don't want to do that.
That's part of being lonely.
And that's part of being.
That's a tool you need in your toolbox. I need to talk to people. I need to communicate.
Well.
Listen and hear.
Vulnerability. Because who's the person that we're probably going to shut down to? It's the person closest to us, our spouse or our girlfriend or fiance or whatever, and say, no, that's embarrassing. Let's talk about something else.
I say, I'm good.
That's just how I was.
I'm good.
I'm good. It's all good. It's all good. Everything's fine. All good. But it's not really below the surface. It's not.
Yeah.
So how do we level up without knowing when the next level is coming? And just real quickly, how would we level up? How would we encourage men? How would you encourage me to stay the course, knowing that a level up opportunity is there, could be there. I could be walking in it, or it's tomorrow. But how would you encourage me to stay on course and watch for the level up opportunity?
I think first it's realization, right? Hey, this is where I'm at. And then two, it's, hey, you have an opportunity to grow. So don't just think that you're just on this level for life.
Okay, so before you go next, so you said realization, realization to what? That you said it first. I'm on this level. This is how the norm is, but I want something more.
That's the realization. If you have something inside of you saying, I don't want to be like this anymore,
there you go, or
I want more, that's the realization that you need to tap into. And then you need to ask yourself, what is it that I want?
Could I do better?
Yes, you could. We all could do better.
Okay, there we go. Man, because I think everybody would say, I can do better.
Yeah.
But then there's a choice. Like, do I really want to do better?
It's that choice. I really want. Do I really want to be better? And then it's the victim mentality. Like, oh, this is just my lot in life.
Yeah. So you have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the average guy may have a choice, but until life gets so frustrating, he's not going to make that choice. I understand the realization. I understand coming to be aware, I need to level up. But the average guy is not going to level up until it's so frustrating where he is.
Well, we talked about that. That's consequence.
Right, but then that's what I'm saying though. They're not gonna reach out for those tools unless.
So that's exactly what we're talking about. There is a consequence. Go ahead.
Hold up. Unless what?
Huh?
Unless what? They're not gonna reach out unless what?
For those tools, unless
a creative environment is offered to them, and they recognize, I really can become vulnerable.
Community.
I really can see myself growing because other people are growing.
Okay. Let's go to Uncle Webster.
Okay.
The dictionary.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Not Webster, the TV show.
No, the Webster guy.
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
No. What happened?
Was that Emmanuel or
Emmanuel Lewis?
Emmanuel Lewis, yeah.
Shout out to Emmanuel Lewis out there. I don't know. It may not even be alive. I haven't even typed what I was going to say. All right. Alone.
Webster. Alone.
Definition of alone. After I get past all of this internet machine talking to me about shows that are called alone. All right. Alone. Having no one else present.
Okay.
On one's own. All right. So that's alone. I think a lot of times we compare, we actually classify alone as loneliness. Mm-hmm. So this is what I found interesting about loneliness, the definition. Sadness because one has no friends or company.
There you go.
The quality of being unfrequented and remote isolation. So y'all are saying the community, right?
Right.
You have to have that community. That loneliness says sadness because of one that has no friends or company. You are not in a community. You don't have anything around you. Right. So loneliness it has to be a condition that can come from being alone.
Exactly.
But it also can be a condition that comes even when you're in the midst of a crowd. You could still be lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't be alone.
No.
If you're in a crowd, you can't be alone.
There's people around you.
There's people around you.
But nobody knows you.
Nobody knows you.
Nobody knows you exist.
And nobody knows you exist. And some people are like, I like it that way. Do you really? All right, if you do, cool. But have you ever felt lonely? Because lonely is the sadness that comes from no community.
Yeah, but the people that like it that way are already lonely. And they've settled, this is how I'm going to be, because it's easy.
Well, there's sometimes you don't mind being alone.
No, you said loneliness, and alone is good. Everybody wants to be alone.
For a short period of time.
For a short period of time.
Yeah. Or until they're ready to not be alone again.
That's right. Even us introverts are like that.
But everybody wants to be heard, whether they say it or not.
They want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be understood.
So all of that defines being known.
Yeah.
Like I just want to be known.
Yep.
Like
I don't need to be on a big stage. I just need to know I got a couple of people who I can reach out to, I can talk to, and they understand me. And sometimes they just listen.
Yeah. So check this out. At best, community, it means people who are known, like you said, not just seen. Their needs are carried together, not alone. Growth happens through connection, not isolation. Accountability exists because love exists, and celebration and suffering both have witnesses.
I like that.
So being alone is physical, and being lonely is emotional.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because you're yes, that's good. I agree. What about you, Tony?
I agree.
You can choose to be alone, but nobody chooses to be lonely.
Nope.
Talking about the being, go back to last episode.
Well, you can go back to this. Not choosing certain things will cause you to be lonely.
Okay.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
Not choosing, meaning if you're not paying attention to the drift and people are starting to move away from you and you do nothing about it, you will one day say, oh, I have no friends. Nobody knows me. I can't call anybody. I just got a promotion on my job. Who am I going to call? Because you have slowly
drifted.
this is just who I am. and they starting to say, okay, be that person. We're going to get away from you because just who you are hurts everybody around you.
So for all the single people out there,
Yeah.
you ever go to the doctor and have to fill out your emergency contact?
Ooh.
And don't know who to put on it.
And you don't know, I don't put my mama. Like my mom, right? Most of the time we put our moms.
Yeah.
But there's a point to where who's my emergency contact?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm alone and I'm lonely. So you may be at this, feel like you're at this alone, but man, there is a harsh realization and then a celebration that comes with, I finally get to put somebody on my emergency contact list.
Yeah.
Hey, man, will you be on my emergency contact list? Not, hey, I need you for a reference, but man, I need you to be my emergency contact. Mm-hmm. There is a point as you go through life to where these things show up, but sometimes we're like, just my mom. But it may be a time of self-reflection to go, who's my circle? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who around me do I trust enough to be my lifeline? Mm-hmm. To be my community.
Yeah.
To be in my 10, that only 13% of the American population believe that they have. You would almost think it should be more just by default. How many friends you got? I don't know, 12,000? Like, no, not followers, not social media friends, but
real friends.
Yeah, then you start asking real friends right now. Go through not your contacts. We did this the other day. You had like 14,000 contacts or whatever in your $1,000 calculator right here.
Yeah.
So you look at the contacts and you're like, man, when was the last time I talked to that person? Who is that? Who is that? I stored their phone. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Who's your community?
Man, yeah. I mean, I've had the same number since high school, but so it's just a collection of.
He had cell phones in high school. That's crazy.
Yeah, we did. We went to the office and did the roller.
We didn't have a pager or a beeper. I think faxes just came out or something. I don't know, man.
Oh, so you're his age now?
I am. No, he's like way older.
He's not that far away. He's not that far away at all. He's not that far away.
All right, so let's get back to where I think I started to drift us.
That's okay.
You said.
Can I throw something else at you?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Question. Suicidal rate. Men, women.
I'm glad.
That's the question.
Hit it. What is it?
What do you think?
I think it's men.
You're right.
Why is that? Can I take a gander at that?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Women, I feel like naturally, they're catty, but they have friends.
Yeah.
They pick up the phone, girl, they have their little group. Mm-hmm. Men, not so much. As we get older, our friends start to dwindle until we're just solo dolo.
And as Rob said, as we get more successful, our friends shrink.
They just don't understand. Mm-hmm. They don't understand all the stress, all the things that I got to go through.
Or they want to use me, they want something from me, so I tend to.
Yeah.
But we're talking to men. So really it's at an epidemic high right now for men because they have nobody to talk to or think they can talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they feel isolated from the rest of the world, even though we're closer than we've ever been. Mm-hmm. But they're not known, understood. And then the sad thing is, and this is just me, talking from me, we have issues coming to the realization that we have not put things in place, picked up some tools for the game to become better. So we're working from a deficit every day. And nobody wants to acknowledge, I need to grow. Because usually when think about you're in a conversation with your wife and she's pointing something out to you. That ain't me. That ain't who I am. But some of that stuff probably it is.
Yeah.
I own it a lot these days. Mm-hmm. You're right. I do that a lot. Or, you know what? I could do better. But most people don't look in the mirror like that. Mm-mm. They're not looking in that mirror because that mirror tells the truth. So
Talking about the mirror that is your wife.
sometimes that is your wife, but just the mirror of itself.
Yeah.
Your best friend telling you jacked up. That's what's wrong, man. Why you keep doing people like that? Then you don't want to take it. So you, instead of growing, like you say, getting those tools, the indicators of the lights are on. You need help. But you're like, nah, I don't need no help. I'm good.
That's one thing I like about our Wednesday group, and I think the environment that we invite. Almost everybody who came to this group at first, they had some like horrific to them, right? Deep, dark secret that they shared. Then they got into the room. They're like, guys, I struggle with X, Y, and Z.
Never shared this before.
Yeah, never. We believe it or not, yeah, we've gotten a lot of that, right? And Justin could attest to this, and even Amari over there can attest to this, right? But then once they finally released that information, they're like, whew. And then everybody in the group are like, okay, cool. Well, not cool, but like, all right. They were heard. And I think in that moment that they were known and understood. And so that is the environment that we breed here in our Wednesday group, and what we hope to breed in this community of 2 to 1 Pod is whatever you're going through, like you're not alone. You're not weird. You might be into some weird stuff, but you're not weird, and you are accepted here, whatever you're going through, with the caveat of, hey man, because you've shared this with us, you're saying that you want to grow. You no longer want to be stuck where you're at. And by you sharing and finally being vulnerable, right, you have an opportunity to grow, at least here in this community, this 2 to 1 community.
And I think you summed that up by saying, we don't ooh your ick.
No.
Like, we were not like, ooh. Like, I don't ooh my ick. Like, just leave it at that. But, all right, before we move on, what you brought up about suicide is huge, and I don't want to gloss over it. 2023 statistics right here from the CDC. 49,000 people died in 2023 from suicide. 1 in every 11 minutes.
Wow.
Every 11 minutes, suicide. 12.8 million people seriously thought about it. 3.7 million actually made a plan for it. And 1.5 million people attempted it.
Man.
49,000 people did. They went all the way.
And I bet you if you look at that statistic, of the men, more men completed it than anybody else.
So I want to say, and these guys will put something in here for the suicide crisis line and all that, but it's 988. 988,
yeah.
You hit your phone and just hit 988 rather than pulling the trigger. Just 988. Give it one call, because you're worth something.
Yeah.
You're worth something. You may not think you're worth anything, but you are. You're valuable, and your stock is rising every day, even though that you feel you're plummeting. That ain't worth it. And I think it's because a lot of times we feel hopeless.
Yeah, thank you for. I was just going there in my brain. Yes.
Yeah, and I felt hopeless before.
Yeah,
and when I felt hopeless, I was at rock bottom. Yeah, I wasn't at the top. Some people, though, are at the top in everybody's eyes. We talked about this dude the other day. They're at the top in everybody's idea of how happy you should be. And
this is miserable,
lonely, and without hope. So I think that's because I've experienced so much hopelessness that I brought onto myself in life. And then I've experienced the hope that never fades. That's why I really agreed to do this podcast with y'all. And I think we get to a place as men where we just feel like we screwed up enough. We can't come back from this. And we're just without hope. I'm found out. But you were always known by the Creator.
Yeah.
And the key thing is just keep living. If you keep living, you realize after the fact, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was.
Spoken from a semi-old man. You just
gotta keep living.
keep living, young man. I used to hear that when I was
and
in
it's
my
not a
20s,
cliche.
man.
It's because if you keep living, the next day the answer comes, and when that answer comes, you oh, I can get help. Oh wow, I didn't know you cared about me that way. You just got to keep going. You don't give up. And then at the end of it all, reach out to somebody because there's nothing new. I can guarantee, no matter what you're feeling, there's nothing new.
Rob, you said this the other day when we were talking about this subject. You said that people put their hope in that final thing. The people that 49,000 people that committed to that went through and committed suicide. Whatever took their life is what they put their hope in.
That the hope that this is better than staying here.
Yeah.
Like the hope that this is better. This escape is the better choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not.
No.
It's not. For everybody that's hearing this, that's not your story. It doesn't have to be your story. Mm-hmm. So
if we could let's take the next 5-7 minutes, whatever, right, to talk to those people who are hopeless right now.
Yeah.
Who are at their wits' end. They have seemingly tried everything and are like, hey, I have got to do something different or else I'm going to see what's on the other side.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we've had guys that have come in here and it's my wife FaceTiming us right now. And it's a very, very pivotal moment here, but I'm going to take it. Hey, no, that's all right. I just wanted to say hi.
I just forgot.
That's all right. We're live, so
yeah.
You want to say anything?
He wanted to know how important you were, so he answered the phone in the middle of the live broadcast
right.
because you're his girl.
Really live?
Yes.
We love you, Susan.
Okay, we love you. We love you too. I totally forgot. Sorry.
Bye.
Hey, do you need my advice on anything?
A lot.
Ooh.
A lot of stuff.
Come on.
Hold on. That's a whole other episode right now.
Long time listener, first time caller. Yeah, we're gonna have you on here pretty soon. See ya.
At some point.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Eddie.
That's dope. Please keep that in the episode.
Keep that in the episode. Because what I was just fixing to say is for a lot of men, you may, like when Sean said that before the call, you may be in a realization or somebody may be thinking, dude, my marriage is falling apart. Mm-hmm. Dude, we're headed for divorce. It is a express lane to divorce, or she just found out something, or I just found out something about her and it's going to break us. My kids are pulling away from me. I feel like nobody wants to be around me. Whatever it is, you have all this stuff where this cost becomes undeniable. It's an undeniable cost. There is of loneliness and not an unresolved pain is this. It's this undeniable cost, and it kills us. It is pushing us deeper and deeper away from center and from alignment. And it's the drift. We're getting further and further and further away. That's the first crack. And then there is the ownership moment, which I think you teed up really well. This is an ownership moment. Mm-hmm. We can look and say, holy crap, man, all this stuff's been going on. This is really shining a light on this, but I don't want to take ownership of this. This is somebody else's fault. No, you can only control your attitude and your effort. Mm-hmm. And you can only look at yourself and say, what do I need to own? And this may explain you. This may explain me, but it doesn't excuse me. So how do I own this moment before we even go further? You said 6 or 7 minutes, but how? So let's take 1 minute and talk about the ownership moment. What do we do? If this is you, how do we? Well, what do we do?
Well, just like we have to allow ourselves to be interrupted. Just like your wife called in the midst of this, right? Oftentimes people, I've heard of this. People call right before a person has called right before a person was about to take their life. I think somebody might have come through our group or whatnot, right?
Yep.
I've heard this several times, right? So, and with that, allow your loneliness to be interrupted.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Allow
I like that.
your loneliness to be interrupted, because God is always there to interrupt. He's always there. We might not feel like he's, we might feel like we're in the deep end, but the Bible says that even in Sheol, this is Psalms 139, even in the darkest parts, he is there. There's nowhere that we can run or hide from God, from his presence, from him being there.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes people allow yourself to be interrupted, and that interruption is God interrupting you, saying, hey, I'm here for you. I know that you're lonely. I don't want you to be lonely anymore. And he's shouting for us to know that we are not alone.
That really hit me on several levels. It really choked Tony up too.
Yeah.
You could hear that probably in the background. It was a joke, but I'm not joking. It really hit me, and sometimes I defer to humor to deal with emotion, and that was really big because I have felt so lonely, surrounded by so many people, and man, allow it to be interrupted. It's like the loneliness doesn't disappear when it goes away, because it doesn't. It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It only disappears when it's interrupted.
Yeah.
That, I don't know if you understand how profound that is. It will never go away. Loneliness will never go away unless it's interrupted.
Yeah.
I mean, that is deep. So, will you allow the interruption? So that's the choice. Am I going to stay lonely? Am I going to stay in this? Oh, it feels good. It's my blanket. It's all I've ever known. It doesn't fail me. It's whatever lie that we tell ourselves is not, it's not better than what's on the other side of letting it be interrupted.
Yeah.
Rob, but even when you say it, I got this image of a kid with that comfy blanket, right? You've seen the kid. We've all have seen the kid that hold on pacifier, right? Let go of the pacifier for something, totally forget about the pacifier for something else. That comfort, their old comfort was disrupted by something new, something that would take place of that old thing.
It's something they want more.
Yes.
So like my son, they don't get screen time, but they'll get Mama Tractor. And so what that is that's a YouTube video that's about tractors that somebody makes somewhere in the world in their basement. And their name is Elisa, but it's really Joe. I don't know. You never know in this world today, right? But they make this little innocent little tractor video of them opening tractor packages and going, "Rrr." But they get it whenever they go to the gym with mom. So it's called Mama Tractor Time. So yeah, dude, they could be Legoing it up, doing whatever they want, and which is really weird for 32-year-old kids. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the little babies. But they're Legoing it up and, hey, let's go do this. No, let's go do this. No, nope. No, I'm having fun. Rah, crashing tractors and rah, like Tommy Boy, right? And when he's explaining it, it goes in a fire and all of a sudden he's like, and all of a sudden we'll say, hey, Mama Tractor, boom. Gone. Let's go, Mama Tractor.
Drops whatever they're doing.
Whatever they're doing. Like mid-crash, done. And man, if we could ever get that's what hope, real hope is like. That's what our provider, our creator provides. Like that we should run to that.
Yeah. And then you got to realize you think you're hiding. You think nobody knows.
No.
But the people around you know you better than you know yourself. They saw your patterns. They saw the signs. Listen. And realize vulnerability is not weakness. It's strength. It's you accepting I need help. Sure. And then it's not failure. It's humanity. we all at one time, felt lonely. And so we just we should not be lonely. We should not feel that way, because there's always somebody, like you said, the disruption, there's always somebody out there trying to love you, trying to embrace you, trying to hear you. And listen. We hate listening, especially to the closest people to us. You don't know what I'm talking about. You just stop taking it as they're coming against you.
If you only
they're trying
knew,
to help
Tony,
you.
But you don't understand. This is what. Yeah, but you don't understand. You don't get it, right? Like, we think that our stuff is
not unique.
Like, you don't get it.
We do get it.
Right.
We do get it. I've had to get it. That's how I know they get it.
I joked around this morning with my sister Ashton, one of my friends. Y'all know Ash. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Yeah, but I don't think you understand." And I said, "No, I don't think you understand. Mm-hmm. I hear what you're saying. And I'm saying something else.
And I'm not agreeing with it. People think if you don't agree with them, you're not hearing them. Oh, we heard you loud and clear.
Yeah.
But there's a better way. We're just offering a better way.
We're so stuck on, and I'm guilty of this. I think we all can be like, you just like you said, right? You just don't understand what I'm going through. No, I hear you. And hey, there's another way to think about this.
Because sometimes they want people to hear it, like how it's going in their heads. Mm-hmm. Like, I hear this from this one lady all the time. You don't hear what I'm saying. It's different. I don't think I'm saying it correctly. I hear what you're saying, and when I repeat it back to you, excuse me. Take over, Sean.
When I repeat back to you, then
Yes.
it's
And they,
something different. Yeah.
I repeat it back, and they understand. I hear you.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, when they repeat it back, is really what you're saying. But you don't hear it that way in your brain.
I was close.
Yeah.
But it's really what you're saying, but it's got to be different, because that emotion that's tied to it, it feels like I'm minimizing it, but I'm really not.
That's it. That's it more than anything. It's you're minimizing what I'm going through. No, I'm not. Yes, you are, because what I'm going through is so painful and so hurtful. Mm-hmm. And all right, I hear you. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be the me monster and one up them.
Oh my gosh.
That's Amari.
Amari.
The
director. He's keeping me alive.
Hey, this will all be cut out. Cut this out, please. No.
Keep Amari in there, man.
So, in summation, since we're done, Amari kind of threw us off.
We only have a second to go.
Yeah, we only have a second to go. We actually have got a lot of edits in this one, so I think we'll pick up 5 minutes in the edits. Let's say this. Feeling lonely. Mm. All right, so feeling lonely is not uncommon to everybody. Everybody has felt lonely at one point or another.
Yeah.
And in my isolation, I feel lonely. And then I divert back to my default, which what we taught is to tie it all back to the beginning. And I had to declare a breakdown to y'all last week and just say, you know what? I'm drifting. I'm not here. I'm here. And I realize, talking it out through with y'all, what happens and how I drift. Mm-hmm. And it was such a quick return back to alignment. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful for that. And I want to just say that you have the ability as well to let to let your loneliness be interrupted. I'm probably going to use that and say it was mine forever.
You will. Yeah.
But to take it back to the beginning was all about the practice of the thing that we learned. So you have, I want to do a final thought with y'all, because I know Justin is trying to get us to stop talking. And what y'all want to bring to the table is really big. People are doing the best that they can with the tools that they have.
That's right.
Right? We believe that.
Yeah.
But also, so two things can be true at the same time. We have choices in everything that we do. Mm-hmm. But we said nobody chooses to be lonely. Mm-hmm. They may choose to be alone, but they don't choose to be lonely. But they choose to remain in loneliness. Mm-hmm. So doing the best that we can in the moment that we're in with the tools that we have, then identifying new tools, that's the checkpoint, and then making the choice to exercise or practice utilizing those new tools. That has to become the new default. Not the very first default without the tools, but the default with the new tools. Loneliness is going to come in because it's the practice ground. So really, it's all about that practice. So you don't break loneliness by fixing your life. Just fix your life, man. So many guys tell us, I'm just trying to work it out. Just trying to figure it out. Like, you're not going to not be lonely by fixing your life. You break loneliness by practicing interruption.
By allowing yourself to be interrupted.
Yeah, and practice that. Almost look for that. Like, imagine if we looked for that. Like, I'm feeling like crap. I'm heavy.
Yeah.
I need an interruption. Like, I need an interruption. I need an intervention. Like, that's really what it is. And we start looking for that. One text, one conversation, one honest moment. An interruption.
One really good practical way of disrupting loneliness is gratitude.
You're going to have to really unpack that.
Okay. You can't be lonely and grateful at the same time. So what am I saying? Think about your loneliest moments. Usually our emotion is probably sad, depression that comes all in there, right? Loneliness.
So maybe looking
depression.
at the feelings chart.
Yes.
We'll put that there, right? As a resource. It's a great resource.
Yes.
Yeah. Sadness,
right?
whatever.
Sadness, right? Okay, cool. Not cool, but okay. So if hopelessness, I'm hopeless. There's nothing, like I can't go on anymore. Is there one thing that you can be thankful for? I want you, if this is you who you're at your wit's end, right? Like, and you're just hopeless. What can you be thankful for? That's that interruption, right? So gratefulness. Well, I'm thankful that maybe you're not thankful for being here today, right? Yeah. But surely there's one thing that you can be I guarantee you there's one thing that you can be thankful for. And that one thing will lead to another thing, will lead to another thing. And so if you start really searching the recesses of your brain of what you can be thankful for, those things will start to flood your brain, and you can't be lonely and grateful at the same time. So that thinking of what can I be thankful for will turn into gratitude. And so then when we start focusing on the gratitude, then that loneliness temporarily it fades.
It's like anxiety and depression when you begin to just fully sit in this present moment. Anxiety and depression can't exist because anxiety and depression is about past and future. And if you stay present, it cannot exist. So loneliness, so what you're saying is loneliness can't exist in the same space as gratitude.
Cannot. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Seemed like you took that disruption to a whole nother level. So if nobody shows up, you have to be intentional and realize I'm feeling lonely. I just need to start thinking about something other than this loneliness, this feeling, because feelings are not followers. Feelings are followers. They're not leaders. So you're feeling that way, you're messed up anyway because you're following your feelings.
I would say that they're indicators too.
Yeah, they're indicators. But so you're saying be intentional about, okay, toolbox. I'm going to start being grateful. Don't want to, but I know this is the best thing for me to do. And I think, Rob, Sean, if you did something like that, even in not just being lonely, but even in you about to do something that you don't want to do, the top 10 sins we hear in our men's class, any of those, if you start being grateful, it'll disrupt your thought pattern, your feeling of what I got to do right now. And it'll subside. Just like I think the other day when you use scripture and the feeling left.
Yeah.
Right? That's the disruption. You intentionally disrupted it with something that you knew was supposed to help. And it helped.
That has become my only, and I'm speaking for myself, that has become my only help. My only source of hope is Scripture. Do I walk it out? No, not every day. No, but do I want to? Am I putting in the work to grow every day? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my hope, because I have messed everything up on my own.
Yeah.
So I want to read this because I think it ties in. It talks about finding gratitude and suicide. So survivors, because there was like 1.5 million attempts, like in 2023. So the cognitive constriction, survivors describe a mental state where options collapse. I couldn't see past the pain. My thinking narrowed to one solution. It felt permanent, even though it wasn't. Gratitude didn't disappear for them because it was never practiced. It disappeared because the brain was under extreme stress and a threat response. So they were telling themselves, I just can't see past the pain. There is no hope. So that's the hope thing. Perceived burdenness. Everyone's better off without me. I'm a problem that can't be fixed. No hope, right? Thwarted belonging. It didn't feel, I don't feel connected. Even when I'm in a crowd, I don't feel connected. I felt invisible or unnecessary. Relief seeking, not death seeking. I didn't want to die. I just wanted the pain to stop.
Yeah.
I was trying to escape, not end my life. Now, after surviving, gratitude returned quickly. This study says one of the most striking findings is many survivors report immediate gratitude after surviving, especially those who survived the impulse attempts. So gratitude was not missing from their character. It was inaccessible in crisis state. So practice gratitude in the crisis state. And that is how we talk a lot about being. How do you be? How do you show up in every situation from moment to moment in crisis? Gratitude.
Man,
that says a lot.
It does. It does.
And for those of you who know people who've committed suicide or have family members, or if you've walked down it, we're not saying that suicide it's not a failure of gratitude. It's a collapse of perspective, and the perspective is what we want to bring, that there is hope. There is hope. There is hope. That's not the only way out.
Yep.
That's good.
Close us out. We're good.
All right, man. It's been a great podcast, great conversation. So if you're lonely, if you're feeling suicidal, please don't forget to dial 988. Until next time, I'm Sean. That is Rob. That is Tony. We are the 221 Pod.